Trudeau's basic admiration for China's dictatorship and the real impact for Canada. I'm Brian Lilley with the Rebel.media. It's not a joke anymore, folks. The fact that Justin Trudeau, his entire family really, and now the entire Liberal Party that governs us is in love with China, it's going to have some real ramifications. They have decided that against all odds, against all better judgment, they want to sign a bilateral trade deal, a free trade deal with China, even though there's no correlation between our standards and their standards, our wages and their wages. It's not going to be a deal like Canada and the U.S. But to do that, what are they willing to give up? It seems like all of Canada, including high-tech industries that are sensitive to national security and defense. It started with ITF Technologies out of Montreal, a firm that had done work with national defense, and also our allies were concerned about that one. That they greenlit for sale to a Chinese company. Now it's Norsat out of Vancouver, a deal that Justin Trudeau, under questioning in the House of Commons from the Conservatives and Andrew Scheer, says it was subject to a real national security review when all the evidence points otherwise.
They're jeopardizing our national security interests and our allies are taking notice. Can the Prime Minister explain what is wrong with holding a national security review, a full, comprehensive national security review? Is he going to do it? Yes or no? It's a clear question. It deserves a clear answer.
Right, Honourable Prime Minister. As I've said, Mr. Speaker, every transaction of this type under the Investment Canada Act is carefully assessed by all national security agencies. On top of that, we do consult with our allies, and in this case, directly consulted with the United States on this situation. Our national security experts assessed the deal and the technology and concluded there were no national security concerns. We always follow the advice of our security experts on these matters.
So here is the real problem. The national security review never happened. Now the Americans are warning us that this has national security implications for them. They're not happy with the way it is, and they're warning Canada against trying to secure a free trade deal at all costs. Trudeau insists this real review happened. Meanwhile, Jeff Yaworski, the acting director of CSIS, and Malcolm Brown, the deputy minister at Public Safety, said, no, there was some analysis done, but a full review as ordered by the minister, as called for in law, that never, ever happened. It didn't go down. So Justin Trudeau is just going to allow this company to be sold off. Look, I'm normally not in favor of governments interfering in the market and saying you can't sell to this company or that company. But when we're talking about national defense, when we're talking about national security and high-tech information being taken away by China, defense information that's used by the Canadian Coast Guard, by the Pentagon, taken away from our allies and given to a country like China, that has real implications, and it shouldn't be allowed to happen. But Trudeau doesn't care, just like he didn't care when he allowed one of the biggest billers in British Columbia's healthcare system, a company called Retirement Concepts. They operate retirement homes, long-term care facilities, and they bill in the billions. They allowed Anbag, a Chinese insurance company with a murky ownership structure, to be sold to them. Fidelity Insurance, they looked at selling to them. They backed away because they couldn't figure out who owned Anbag. And now the chair of Anbag, Mr. Wu, is behind bars and in jails. And the Liberals still say none of this matters. We all know why it's coming down to this. We all know why Trudeau is willing to do this. He loves China. He's told us that before.
He was asked which country he most admired and referred to China.
There's a level of admiration I actually have for China because their basic dictatorship is allowing them to actually turn their economy around on a dime and say we need to go green as fast as we need to start investing in solar.
Back then we all laughed at Justin Trudeau and his admiration for China's basic dictatorship. Well, we're not laughing anymore because it's having real world consequences in a Chinese takeover of Canada, being aided and abetted by Justin Trudeau, who loves China just like his daddy did. His daddy was a big fan of Mao. His daddy was a big fan of China back then, just as he was of Fidel Castro. These guys love the thugs, the dictators. They're not fans of democracy. It's incomprehensible to me, but that's the way it is. Someone's got to wake Justin Trudeau up before it's too late. If you like the Rebel video you just watched, make sure you never miss another one again. Click here to subscribe.